Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 376. If you're writing a book or thinking about it, or perhaps you've started writing your book but you're having trouble getting it done, or maybe you're at the stage where you need help reaching more readers to let them know about your book, you are in the right place. Good morning and happy Tuesday. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh, also known as Christine Inc., Christine-Inc.com. Every day I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they have the ability to turn a quote-unquote non-author into a published one. Those three things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. "You are unrepeatable. There is a magic about you that is all your own." D.M. Dellinger. Well, once again, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Continuing our series on author brand, breaking down that whole big concept for you at the request of one of my authors. I have a mindset question for you on this subject and something that some of you might be thinking, something that might be on your mind, especially since authors, for the most part, are not the most like, look at me, socially extroverted type of people. So that question is, am I really enough to be a brand? And variations of that question might include, do I have enough to say? Am I important enough? Do enough people care what I have to say? And as the expression du jour goes, let's unpack this. So to recap what an author brand is, it's not just one book you've written or are writing, but it's all the things attached to that book, whether online courses, emails, blogs, videos, podcasts, and to you as the author who wrote it, anything that is related to your ability to talk about your book to strangers, your websites or just anything where you, as the author, are talking about your book and talking about the person who wrote it. You, the three-dimensional person, the creator, the person who created something from nothing, the person who dared to put their ideas out there. All of these things that fall under your brand umbrella that go well beyond your book. So even before I brought this up, this kind of daunting subject of brand, even before I brought it up, were you already feeling the nerves? Were you feeling that anxiety? Were you feeling that question of, am I really enough to be a brand? Were you feeling that uncertainty? So even before I brought up brand, were you feeling that just simply about your book? Just simply about the fact that whether you've already written a book or maybe you're just starting to write a book, are you feeling that now, or you're feeling that in the first place when you made the decision to write a book? In other words, were you already worried about being enough when it was just you standing out in the rain by yourself before this idea of a whole brand umbrella came along? If you were, let's look at why that is, potential reasons. Why, even by yourself, you were nervous about not being enough. Now let's start with your book idea. Maybe that's the source of your anxiety about being enough. Maybe you feel like your idea has been done before, which like all ideas have, because if you think about it, everything has been done before. But remember, it hasn't been done by you. And nobody could write any idea the way that you do. I don't care if it's as common as Romeo and Juliet. Nobody can write an idea the way that you specifically would write it. It's impossible. It's like a fingerprint. It's, like a unique strand of DNA. Each author is their own kind of unique strand of DNA and the universal library of life. Getting kind of existential there, but hopefully you follow what I'm saying there. You are just as unique as your fingerprint as an author. So you could write Romeo and Juliet and it would be in a totally unique way that nobody else has ever done it. Or maybe your concern was, will anyone want to read what I write? And the short answer is yes. Believe me, after nearly 19 years of helping people write books, I firmly believe that there is an audience for every author and every book idea. The world has billions of people in it. Most of them know how to read, and the majority have at some point in their life bought at least one book. And then on the other end of the curve, some people buy probably on average a book a day if you kind of averaged it at the end of the year. So yeah, there are a lot of books out there and there are a lot of people looking for them. There are a lot of people, looking to read books. There is an audience for your unique perspective on the world for no other reason than the fact that you live this specific sort of life in a certain part of the world. So think about, geographically, but even, just the kind of lifestyle that you live that other people can't relate to and they're like super curious about. Maybe even people who live geographically close to you, maybe they can't even relate to your life. We all live very unique lives, and I'm not sure that we even know how unique they are until you see those reality shows that come along and you see how other people live and you say, wow, I just can't even relate to that. So we may all be on Earth. We may even all be from the same country. We may be all Americans, but very, very different perspectives, very, very different ways of living life. And, seeing life through someone else's eyes has been a source of fascination for human beings since the beginning of time. So if you think that somehow you're excluded from that tradition that of being fascinated by other people's lives, or somehow that your point of view doesn't matter, well, you would truly be a statistical minority, because believe me, you are fascinating. Trust me. Even if nothing terribly fascinating has ever happened to you in your opinion, you're fascinating. Your brain alone is fascinating. Just the way that you see the world is fascinating. So tell us about it, write about it. I promise there will be people who will want to read it. So if we take that individual fascination with you and your point of view and simply expand it a bit, have it take up a little bit more space under this idea of a brand umbrella. Have it wander outside the seams of a book. Again, that take this fascination with you and your point of view. Now we, burst it out beyond the seams of the book. Have one slice of your point of view turned into a podcast, another slice of your perspective turned into a blog, maybe another into a series of videos or social media live streams. Maybe take another slice of your point of view, turn it into a coaching program or a product or a course. It's still all about you. All the things you've learned, the things you think, the things that you can share with others to help them, your stories. It's still all about you just as much as just that single nugget, the thing that started this all. That one book is all about your perspective. All the things that we're talking about under the brand umbrella, it's just an expanded version of that first book. It's just more of you. A brand is you amplified. That's all. And trust me, you don't need to wear a t-shirt that says, I'm an author brand. You don't even actually need to use this phrase, author brand. You never even have to acknowledge it. This is merely a structure. It is a way of organizing what you're saying and how you're saying it. Being a brand is not an ego trip. That's not what it's meant to be. It's a tool to reach your audience. That's it. By being a quote unquote brand, you're just finding ways to say more and to organize how to do it. That's all. So I hope that is less intimidating for you on the subject of author brand and mindset. And please drop by my Inc. Authors group and let me know yay or nay on that if I made this better or worse. Hopefully better, hopefully less intimidating, but Inc. Authors on Facebook, and let us know how your writing projects are going and how we can help. Inc. Authors. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. Thank you very much, and until tomorrow, happy writing.